A very good morning, everybody, and welcome. On behalf of myself, my name's Adele, the CLIA Director Andy Harmer, and the rest of the CLIA team. Thank you for joining us for this CLIA update this morning. Now, before we get started, I just have a couple of bits of housekeeping for you. So we will be recording this session and we'll share it on the CLIA website a little bit later on this month. And even though you'll be in listen-only mode for the duration of the webinar, we'd still like you to contact us with any comments or questions that you have. So we'll be using the questions section in GoToWebinar, and that's situated on the right-hand side of your screen. If you click in the question icon, a little text box will open up and it will make it a little bit easier for you to submit any questions or comments that you have. And we'll try and cover as many as possible at the end of the session. If your question's not answered or you can think of something else at the end of the webinar, then please do email me at afoster@cruising.org. So this morning, we are very lucky to hear from the main man himself, Andy Harmer, CLIA's Senior Vice President of Membership and Director of UK and Ireland. Now, Andy will cover some of the plans that CLIA has for 2020 and also some of what's in store for 2021. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Andy Harmer. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, Adele. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's over to you.
Thank you very much. And good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for taking time out of your Friday morning to hear about CLIA plans for the rest of the year and indeed, as Adele said, into 2021. I should say also, of course, this year we have been really focusing on ensuring that the government understands the cruise position, and we've been working incredibly collaboratively with government departments, Public Health England, etc., to ensure that when the time is right, that cruising returns safely. So we look forward to sharing details of that over the coming weeks and months. I should also say before I start that we are extremely grateful as CLIA and as an industry for your hard work as the travel agent community in supporting cruise during what's been an incredibly difficult year for all of us, and we look forward to brighter sailings, if that's the right expression, in the future. Now, the purpose of the presentation this morning is to really go through some of the things that we've been up to this year, things to look forward to for the rest of the year as well. And you'll hopefully be aware that we have a Facebook page, which, as you can see, is Facebook/CLIA Europe. And on there, you'll be able to find a lot of the interviews and panel discussions and content that we've put together during the course of the year, because we very much believe that this year and during the last couple of months, during those extremely difficult last couple of months, we have ensured or tried to ensure that we keep you informed about what's happening, some of the trends and some of the opportunities that lay ahead. So head there if you looking for a bit of inspiration. One series that we did this year was CLIA Talks, which was an opportunity for me to chat to some of the leading voices in the cruise industry, both from UK and internationally. So if you go to the CLIA Europe page on Facebook, there is a video section, and one of those sections is called CLIA Talks, and you'll be able to find some of the interviews that we've held during the course of the year. You'll also head to Facebook for some of the webcasts that we did earlier this year. I have to say, I don't know if, like me, you feel as if the year has gone in many ways extremely quickly. So it feels a long time ago that we did the luxury webcast, but it's a selection of interviews and discussions with some of the leaders from the luxury sector of cruising. And again, find that section on our Facebook page to get some inspiration around luxury cruising as well. Also on the Facebook page is our expedition section. So again, earlier this year, by the way, those two soldiers in that egg look rather odd, but we did an expedition webcast series. So as you can see, about 5 different sessions all around expedition cruising, some of the destinations, some of the experiences that customers can have in the expedition cruise environment. So again, head off to the Facebook page to find details of that. And finally, in our webcast series, earlier this year, we did a river cruise webcast. It's about an hour, I think, from start to finish. But again, you'll be able to find the video on our Facebook page, again, discussing all things river cruise. and a great hour of discussion about the opportunities that lie within river cruise. Another series that Adele was responsible for this summer actually was our summer school. So this was a new initiative that we did this year, our summer school, which was a weekly and sometimes twice a week set of live webinars and webcasts called Summer School, which was really about some of the cruise lines giving everyone an update on their product, on what their opportunities are for the future. And actually, to find the summer school set of webinars, you'll head to our website, and there's a section on our website once you've logged in called Webcast Videos and Live Learning, and there's a whole section there. And not only does it feature some of the product updates from our cruise line members, it also features some true experts in cruising, including the very popular Debbie Dale, who talks about some of the emotions and some of the feelings that we currently have and how to stay positive through these challenging times. And there's a number of other special ones as well. So head to the website and you'll find our summer school. Staying with our website for a second, as you know, some time ago, in fact, a couple of years ago now, we launched our cruise podcast series. So the CLIA Cruise podcast has continued throughout this year. It's now a great opportunity for us to hear from a selection of people. But what's great about the podcast is, firstly, you can subscribe to it via iTunes or via SoundCloud. But if you've missed any episodes, then what you can do is head to the website. There is a podcast section on our website, and you'll be able to view all of our past episodes as well as keep up to date with the most recent one. So that's the CLIA Cruise podcast. Now, I've mentioned our website a couple of times, and for those who use some of the resources and learning that we offer online, you'll know by now that we have moved to our new home. So we have moved across to cruising.org, and cruising.org is the home for CLIA globally. So we've just joined our global colleagues on the same website. If you forget, by the way, and type in Cruise Experts, which was our old home, then it will take you instantly to the cruising.org homepage. So that's fine, but try to remember cruising.org. And it's a slightly different layout, and we've updated a lot of the resources and a lot of the learning that we have online, but it's also there you'll be able to find some of the information that's really important at the moment. So for example, we have a special section on some of the measures and some of the protocols and framework and some of the resources that we have specifically on coronavirus and its impact on both ocean cruise and river cruise. But you'll also find details on there such as our environmental information and access to our different cruise line pages as well. Now, for those who have created in the past, think of the past. When we're on our old website, if you have login information, then all you need to do to access the new website is click on the login button, which is the top right-hand side of the homepage in the little orange square. If you click onto login, you'll get this pop-up. And if you had a login to cruiseexperts.org, then don't fill anything in. All you do is hit the forgot password button at the bottom of that square, and it will ask you to reset your password, which will give you access to to cruising.org. If you didn't have a login to cruiseexperts.org, but you are a member and you'd like to access the resources and learning that we have inside, then all you do is click on Create New Account, and it will ask you to set yourself up as a new user. And then once you've done either of those things, you will then have an email and password that you can just pop into that box, and it will take you into the logged in area. And of course, you need to log in order to access the learning and resources that we have just for our members. Incidentally, I should add that if you do have any questions about anything CLIA's been up to this year or any plans that CLIA has for the future, then there is a little question box, don't forget, on the right, should be on the right-hand side of your screen. Then just stick some questions in there. It'd be nice to hear from you anyway, even if it's a comment or a thought or just what you're up to this weekend or something like that. Do get in touch. If not, I'll feel as if I'm just talking to myself and sat in the attic as I have been for the last few months. But so do get in touch by that question box. Now, once you've logged in, then you'll get this, the website will take you straight to the My CLIA page, and that is really your access to all of the different resources and learning that we have on our website. So there's the pop-up there. You'll see that within the My CLIA, you've got those different tiles which will take you to different sections of the website. So this is a really useful page because it's, if you like, your doorway to all of the different resources that we have. And then once you've gone to any of those different sub pages or you've looked through, if you just want to return to the dashboard, then just click on the My CLIA bit and it will bring you back here, and then you can access different sections of the website. Of course, the My CLIA bit will be updated continuously as we add new resources and new learning opportunities and new things for you to have a listen to or to watch or to study if you wish. But a big part of the website is, of course, our Learning Academy. So once you're into the website and you're in the My CLIA tile section, just click onto Learning Academy. And from there, really, you have access to 3 different areas. So firstly, My Certifications. So this is new for this website. So the My Certifications bit will tell you about all of the certificate programs that you've signed up to, are working through, or that you have achieved. So if you've achieved the first level of certification, or if you're an ambassador, or you're working towards being a master, for example, then it'll all be laid out under the My Certificate section. The middle section tells you about the courses that you have started. So if you have enrolled in one of our courses, one of our modules, then that center section there as well. And then the right-hand side icon, that third one there, is your opportunity to explore all of the different courses that we have available to you in our Learning Academy, including our destination courses, our sales courses, or indeed courses about specific sectors within cruise. So there we go, there's those 3 sections there. And then at the bottom of that was the, thank you very much, at the bottom of that was the CLIA certifications bit. And that's where you can get information about the main certification that we run. So as you may or may not know, as CLIA, we run the only industry certification program for cruise, for travel agents, and it's split into 3 levels. So the first level we've renamed this year is the Introduction to Cruise Sales, and that's the first section. You need to complete that before you move on to the next 2 types of certification, so that you can get that initial level of certification, and then you can move up once you've completed that onto ambassador status, and then once you've achieved that, you can move up to master status. So have a look. These are all new courses, all new content that we've developed over the course of the last 12 to 18 months in conjunction with our other colleagues within CLIA. So do have a look at our certification program. We're sure that some of you, by the way, in our webinar are fully qualified ambassadors or masters, so welcome to you too. All right, so what's coming up is the big question I can hear on your lips this Friday morning. So what's coming up for the rest of the year? So of course, at the moment, we aren't able this year to guarantee that we have any in-person events. So what we have been busy doing is creating some virtual events for you for the remainder of the year. So let's just go through what they are. So Monday, we have a couple of things next week focusing on river cruise. River cruise was, of course, before this year, one of the fastest growing sectors in travel, certainly one of the fastest growing sectors within the whole cruise industry. So if you want to learn a bit more about river cruise, then next week we have a couple of very special things for you. So on Monday at 9 a.m. we have a live webinar to open the week, if you like, to open our discussions on river cruise. And on Monday we're joined by Jamie Loazu from AMA Waterways, but he's also importantly chair of the CLIA UK River Cruise Working Group, and he'll be joined by 2 journalists, including Sarah Macefield, who is an expert on all things river cruise, and also Janine Williamson. Now, Janine has recently been, in the last couple of weeks, on a river cruise in Europe, and it's our opportunity to hear from Janine on exactly what the river cruise experience was like. So join us on Monday. That's a live webinar, which means you'll be able to put your questions to the panel as well. So join us live, and you can register for that webinar on cruising.org. And then also next week, we have a very special event on Wednesday. We are hoping you can join us Wednesday morning, that's 23rd of September, between 9 and about midday. We have a very special virtual river cruise showcase. Now, this is all new. That's how exciting it is. It's a brand new platform to ensure that we can bring you the best speakers, the best interaction, the best product updates, the best trends, the best everything you could possibly think of for a river. And that starts at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. We will be announcing some of the speakers that we have over the next couple of days. Registration is, of course, free to our CLIA travel agent community. We should mention our two headline sponsors, Mail Metro Media and Travel Weekly. So I'll be co-hosting the event with Lucy Huxley. But we have the world's best river cruise operators joining us. And really, it's a mixture of panels and interviews and business sessions with some product updates from our river cruise lines, plus the opportunity, of course, to ask your questions of those speakers as well. So come and join us. You do need to register. We need you to register. We want you to do that as soon as possible, but that's Wednesday. Join us from 9 till midday for a very special morning of river cruise. As if you have not been rivered out enough, on Wednesday we have our first ever actually CLIA Global. That means that this is a special webinar for our travel agent community wherever they are in the world, so whether they're in North America, Europe, or indeed in Australasia. Join us for a very special webinar talking about river cruise, both the experience this year as well as the opportunities for 2021. And that's on Wednesday, the 30th of September, so a week on Wednesday, and we'll be giving you the timings and details of that very soon. But again, it's an opportunity to join us, to ask questions and to discuss the opportunities ahead for a very special global river cruise webinar. Now, of course, we are not going to just talk about river cruise. This autumn, it feels as if there's a lot of river in there, but actually what we've done in October, what we're planning in October is a special 2-day CLIA cruise showcase. So that's 2 mornings. So that's the morning of Wednesday, the 28th and Thursday, the 29th of October for a very special virtual CLIA cruise showcase. We will be opening registration very soon, but it's a double morning. It's a very special event where we'll have some speakers from around the world, plus, of course, the opportunity to get some product updates from our cruise lines. So put the dates in your diary. We'll be launching registration soon. So that's Wednesday and Thursday, 28, 29 of October. And again, you will need to register for that before it starts. Something else to look forward to, by the way, we know that, of course, access to ships for ship tours has been impossible this year. We know that the ship experience is incredibly important. We also know that there's lots of ships that have been recently launched that we may not have seen. So new for 2020 and just for our CLIA travel agent members are our virtual ship tours. They're coming up in November, so look out for them. There'll be some details to follow, but this is a very exciting opportunity for us to take ship tours. I should also say, by the way, that we know that you haven't been able to take ship visits as part of your certification program, so we will be announcing details of how these virtual ship tours will count towards your certification in the coming weeks, but stand by, we've got some exciting virtual ship tours coming up. It's almost like being on the ship itself, except of course that we won't make you lunch or provide wine and things like that, but it's as good as a ship tour. So details of that to follow. Also coming up, and again back to river cruise, but very briefly, we have a brand new publication, a brand new guide coming your way very shortly. As you may or may not know, on our website, you'll be able to access our new to cruise guide, which is there for you to really use and download or to print off so that you've got some of the key facts and key information that you need. Well, we have this summer been putting together our new to river cruise guide, and you can see the list there of some of the things that will be included in that guide. So again, opportunity for you to print it off or to save it to your desktop and to use as a reference guide, but some of the information there includes some of those key embarkation points, some of the key points of interest and popular excursions on those main rivers, some of the onboard dining experiences and staterooms, what's included, what's not included, some of those land-based options, as well as an overview of those different rivers as well. So look out for that. It should be coming up next month. That's our Neutral River Cruise Guide. So that's what's coming up this year, and we hope that you can join us for as many of those virtual events as possible. I should also say, of course, that we'll also over the next few months be adding some new courses, some new resources, and of course our regulars such as our podcasts and webinars as well. So do stay tuned, do keep up to date with cruising.org. One of the things that we really need is your feedback, so do feedback, whether it's via the email address that's available, or you can tweet us or contact us on social media, however you wish. But we hope that there's plenty there for you to be enjoy and keep up to date with everything that's happening in the cruise industry. So on to 2021. Of course, we have been busy thinking about 2021, and we know that this remains a very uncertain time for all of us. But we have been planning 2021, so we will be announcing details of what's coming up specifically in 2021, but do expect our mix of virtual events and webinars and webcasts, and we are planning for some in-person events as well. We're always optimistic, so we will be publishing details of our events to look forward to in the coming weeks and months. One of the common questions that we do get is around CLIA conference. By the way, I don't know who put that picture in there. Look at it. It looks like Lucy and I are doing some kind of dance, bizarrely, which we weren't if you were there. CLIA conference 2021, of course, we had to take the disappointing decision to postpone this year's, but we are already planning CLIA conference 2021. We will be back. We will, of course, ensure that it's in line with government regulations and all of the statutory things that we need to comply with, but we are planning CLIA conference 2021. It's a little early for us to say something now, but we look forward to giving details of CLIA conference over the next months as we continue to plan for that event. Well, I've been rambling on for quite long enough. I feel as if I've often said this to Adele, but I often feel when I'm doing a webinar and you're talking like this, I often feel like I'm doing a radio show. So I feel like I should put a song on or play a record or something by Take That, or to go to traffic, but I won't do that. So Adele, why don't I instead come to you?
Hi, Andy. Thank you for that. That was great. I learned an awful lot from that as well, so thank you very much. Especially about the new website. There's an awful lot of information and resource on there. So if you haven't, like Andy said, if you haven't visited the website, then please do go and.
Yes, please do.
So we have got a couple of questions actually. We got a nice comment from Rachel Twedwell. Say good morning, Andy. The website looks great. Thank you very much.
Morning, Rachel.
And she also asked a question: if we've done previous modules, do they get carried through? So I don't know whether you want to answer that or.
Yes, that's fine. So if you have achieved a level of certification on the old website, then we have carried that forward to the new website. So if you had achieved that initial level or ambassador or master, then we will carry over that level of certification. If, however, you've just done a couple of modules, then unfortunately, because we've updated all of that learning and there's new modules and new content and new courses on there, then we haven't been able to bring those across. But if you have any more questions about your specific situation, then you can see the email address on the screen. Just drop us an email and we can investigate that for you. But certainly, if you've achieved a level of certification, we have taken that across to the new website.
Fabulous. We also had a question from Barbara Dixon Mitchell. Barbara was asking about purchasing CLIA membership. I think probably go to the website and have a look. You'll be able to click straight on cruising.org.
Yes, so go to cruising.org. There's a join me button. There's a join bit button. Click onto that, and then you can set up your membership straight away. It'll be lovely if you're not a member, it'd be lovely to have you as a member.
Absolutely. And Kieran Miller as well was asking about previous certifications, which you covered, but he also wanted to just say thank you very much to our colleague Alex for the help with questions. Alex is our current website master, isn't he, Andy?
Yeah, I've never liked him. Never liked him. No, Alex has done a great job in getting the website populated and up and running, and been helping everybody with any questions or queries that they have. So thank you, Alex, for that work. As ever, the team have been getting us through what's been quite a difficult time as we're moving to the new website, and we've been in lockdown, of course, but we're here to support our travel agent partners during these difficult times as well. So thank you to Alex, and thank you for your comment.
And that was from Gail Stevens as well. She wanted to add her comments too, to say thank you.
He's amazing. He does a great job.
Let me have another look. I can't make Monday's event, but would really like to watch it. That's from Rachel Treadwell.
Thanks, Rachel. So yeah, so Monday's webinar we will record, and we will make that available through the website. Wednesdays is very much a live platform. Adele, you probably know more about this than I do, since you've been working so hard on the showcase for Wednesday. But yes, the webinar on Monday we will record, and we will put onto our website.
Absolutely. So if Rachel wants to find that, it will be on the website probably a little bit later on next week.
Yeah. But the showcase is live, all live.
It is. Somebody
It is.
the link to sign up for the webinar on the 23rd doesn't work. Andre, I'll send you a private message, and you can use the link that I'll send you. We'll just have another look. So there's lots of questions this morning, which is great.
That's great. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully you're having a sunshiny morning as well this Friday. It's a nice way to start the countdown to the weekend.
So as well, Jane Middleton, and Jane, welcome, Jane. Jane was one of our regulars during our summer school. Great to hear what you've up to. How often do you do podcasts, and have you done any recently? Thanks, Jane.
Yes, we're about to do a new one, so we'll be doing a new one next week. But yes, we try to do them every 3 to 4 weeks, so do look out for them. We try to keep them as current as possible. So yes, there's the one from August is on there, and the September one will be available very soon.
Fantastic. And Dawn Plummer is asking the $1,000,000 question: what time of year is the CLIA conference next year?
Well, thank you, Dawn. Good question. We, of course, well, our spiritual month home, is that a thing? I don't know. Our normal place for CLIA conference is May, so we are still working towards that. But as I say, we, of course, are watching the current situation, but our planning is still for May.
Fantastic. I have a question. Yeah, that's great news. I have a question from Mark Henderson. How soon do you expect the government to give an update on the possession of UK guests on board cruise ships? I know that, Andy, you've been working very hard with the government over the past 12 weeks and not done much else, bless you. You've had a lot of work on.
You know, I think we've made great progress over the past 5 months. I think that you know, what's been great, and I think one of the things that CLIA does is bring people together. So actually what we've done over the past 4 or 5 months has bring together government experts with cruise experts, with the ports, with public health, with Department of Transport, with the Foreign Commonwealth, no, it's not called anymore, the FCDO, and various other departments, and we are making great progress. I think we're all encouraged by the situation in the Mediterranean, for example, in some other European countries where we've seen some limited sailing. We hope that we continue to make positive progress with the government over the next weeks and months. But I think we're all aware that, and I think we've seen a lot of that voluntary suspension announcements by a lot of cruise lines, but we continue to believe that will be a phased return to service when it does come. But yes, we continue to make great progress in our conversations with government. Of course, you know, the backdrop to that is, of course, changing every day, and you only have to see the news this morning to see that the situation currently continuously evolves. So we will be making some announcements hopefully as soon as we can.
Fantastic. And good morning to John Galligan as well, who's joining us from sunny Dublin.
Morning.
He's
Morning, John.
Just about to be locked down, heavens.
Oh dear, sorry to hear that, John. At least you've got sunshine by the sounds of it, but hopefully it's all well for you.
And a beautiful city to be looked down in.
It is lovely, beautiful city.
So he asked the question, what are the senior people in cruising saying about the resumption of services in 2021? Is it any different from the government view?
No, well, you know, I guess I refer to my previous answer, which is very much that, you know, we have taken that collaborative approach, and that's experts from all the cruise lines working with CLIA and also some other bodies as well, such as Maritime UK, for example, or the Chamber of Shipping, and also, you know, British Ports Association and Cruise Britain and various other government departments, and also some of the devolved administrations. So we're working really closely and collaboratively and to get that safe resumption for cruising when the time is right. But as I say, we're also encouraged by some of the initial cruising that's taken place within Europe, and we continue to monitor the situation and continue to work with government. I think I speak to government at least once or twice or three times or more a day, just to ensure that we're doing the right thing. And I think as an industry, we've been doing the right thing by voluntarily suspending operations, but we look forward to resuming sailing as soon as the time is right.
Fantastic. We've had a question from Janina Vanessa van der Loog. What a beautiful name.
Yes.
Can we have a replay of this webinar to go back on?
Good Lord, no. I think one, I don't see why not. As long as I don't have to watch it. No, of course, we'll get this onto the website, but if there's any information that you're particularly looking for, what we are doing today is sending out an email, I think, with some of the details of some of the things coming up, but also we'll be publishing details of our specific 2021 plans very soon as well. So, and if you do have any urgent questions, there's the email address on the screen to email us, but yes, we'll get this webinar up online sometime.
Fabulous. And there is one more question, and this was from Alison Woodrow. Alison was asking,
Morning, Alison.
Good morning, Alison. Are you going to do a virtual event like the Columbus Day did in Liverpool? I think that may be referencing to our forum as well that we normally do in December.
Yes, that's a very good question. So we are looking at plans for December. Again, we have to bear in mind the changing situation, changing landscape, but we, again, will be announcing details of what we'll do at the end of the year very soon. But we, you know, what we've tried to do this year, and, you know, Adele, you spend most of your life sorting out in-person events for CLIA, and you've pivoted very quickly and very well to ensure that we can replace those with virtual events. So we're looking at our lineup for later in the year. But I think, as I say, we've got a lot of river virtual stuff happening next week, including our first showcase on a brand new platform. And then at the end of October, we have our cruise showcase, which will be over 2 mornings. And I think it's a very exciting platform and a very exciting event. And then we've got our virtual ship tours happening in November. And then December, we're still thinking and looking and watching the situation. So details of what we do in December will be coming up soon.
Fantastic. Jane Middleton messaged again. Jane, I'll answer you directly.
Hello, Jane.
It's about finding agent on the website, so I'll look into that for you.
Great.
Also, as well, we have had a question from Craig. Will the CLIA yearbook be published this year? It's very useful, thanks.
Morning, Craig. Yes, that is our plan. We're working on it currently. So stand by. It's another one of our people do seem to like the yearbook. It's a great opportunity to talk about some of the things that we've been up to, as well as to recognize our masters who have made, you know, that huge achievement of reaching master status, which is a huge achievement. So yes, we'll be publishing that over the next weeks, we hope. So we're just finalizing some of the information in there.
Fantastic. And we
Craig,
also
glad you like it. It is useful.
Let me have a look. Janina has a message again. Where can we go to see and help bring back confidence to our clients?
Yeah, that's a really important point, and something we've been talking to government about a lot, but also discussing internally. We will be once we get to the place when we can talk about all of these things and start working together for that consumer confidence piece, we will absolutely share that information, share ways that we can do that. It's something we've been working on for a long time, to make sure that when the time is right, that we can get those customers booking. So yes, bear with us. We'll get to that point. But as I say, it's been something we've been talking about and discussing very widely for a few months now.
Yeah, we have got a little bit of information on the website as well, haven't we? Resources that you could use to talk to customers about.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, you're quite right. There's a resources button on the homepage of the website, and there's some COVID-specific resources and information and videos and things on there. So do use those, and we're developing more as we continue to, as the situation continues to evolve.
Fantastic. And another question from Christine Etheridge. Once we've joined CLIA, are the courses free?
Yes, that was easy.
That's a great short answer and very true.
A great short answer. So the courses that we brought over absolutely are, as they have always been, are included in membership. We're looking at new opportunities for 2021. But yes, once you've joined CLIA, then those resources and online learning is all included.
Fantastic. And I think this is the final question that I have here. And this is from our friend Darren. And he wants to know, once you can cruise again, where would be the place that you would want to go to first?
Thank you, Darren. That's a great question. Well, I think there's a lot of pent-up demand for travel. I think we all have got a greater appreciation of how important holidays are, and actually how great cruising is to see the world. What a great way to visit new places, to explore new places, and to revisit some old favorites. So, most Brits take a cruise. When they do take a cruise, will head to the Mediterranean, I think with good reason. I think that there's some amazing ports and countries within the Med that are just fantastic. Great for new to cruise guests as well. I love the Med and I miss the Med. I love Greece, for example. I love visiting some of those ports in south of France. I love visiting Spain. I miss also cities up in the Baltic, so I'm very excited about going back to places like Stockholm and Helsinki, which I think are some of Europe's great cities. I also am excited about doing a river cruise, so I'd love to get on a river ship and sail places like the Mekong, but also on the Rhone. I've never river cruised on the Rhone, so I'd like to do that too. But that's the great thing about cruise. There's so many opportunities and so many different destinations. But I'm very excited about getting back on a cruise ship.
Fantastic. We have just had one more question in. Andre Anik. Say, would it make sense to use the first sentence of MSc and Costa as positive reference for going back, like bringing back guest confidence? Should we, as CLIA, maybe communicate this a bit more?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have been communicating it, but absolutely we can as cruising starts to resume in different parts of the world, then absolutely we can shine a light on those positive stories, because I think you're absolutely right. They are incredibly positive stories of the safe resumption of cruising. So and the teams at those cruise lines working closely with the port authorities and the medical authorities and the governments in those countries have done an amazing job to get cruising up and running, and absolutely that's a really good point. We'll take that on board.
Definitely, and we've got lots of positive stories from River as well. So yeah,
absolutely. And you can hear more. There we go. I've gone into talk about next week again, but yes, and you can hear some of those positive stories next week. So try to join us for those. But great point as well.
Andre says thanks, Andy.
Thank you. Good point.
Fabulous. I think that's it for questions, unless anybody else wants to quickly fire us off a question, but it looks like we've covered everything on there. As I said, if there's anything that I need to go back to directly about difficulty getting into a different part of the website, I will do that.
Yeah, and again, apologies if there are bits of the website that aren't quite working fully. We're working on them, and it's a huge job to get us to move everything across to the new website platform. But so thank you for your patience. We're getting to those bits, but do flag up any bits that aren't working properly for you. It means that you are our eyes and ears, so we can feed those back to the tech team as well. So thank you. And thank you everyone for joining this morning. I appreciate your time and your engagement. I do hope you have a good weekend, and we look forward to the safe resumption of cruising when the time's right, and your continued health.
Thanks very much, Andy, and thank you to everybody for joining us this morning. Goodbye.
Thanks, Adele. Thank you.